The Red Sea is one of the most important shipping routes in the world, connecting Europe, Asia, and Africa through the Suez Canal, which handles about 12% of global trade. However, this important waterway has been under attack by the Houthis, a rebel group in Yemen that is backed by Iran. The Houthis have been targeting commercial ships with drones, missiles, and even hijacking them in response to Israel's bombardment of Gaza in late 2023. These attacks have disrupted global trade and increased the costs and risk of shipping companies, and even some of them have decided to avoid Red Sea and take a longer route around Africa, which adds more time and fuel expenses. And others have sought to enhance their security measures or rely on the protection of the US and UK naval forces. The Red Sea crisis has implications for the global economy as well as the regional security, even for the Yemen government. To give more insight into this topic, let's understand more about this current event. The Houthis are a Yemeni rebel group who control the west of the country, including its Red Sea coast. They are aligned with and supplied by Iran, but they are politically independent. They have been fighting a civil war against the government of Yemen, which is backed by a Saudi-led coalition, since 2015. And the war has caused a humanitarian catastrophe in Yemen, with millions of people facing famine, disease, and displacement. The Houthis declared war on Israel at the end of October 2023 in solidarity with Hamas, the Palestinian militant group that controls Gaza, and they have launched missiles at Israel, but some were intercepted by US and Saudis. From mid-November, however, they switched tactics to focus on attacking commercial shipping, started with the seizure of Galaxy Leader, a cargo ship that was captured in a video filmed by body-worn cameras. But the Houthis claim that they are only targeting ships that are carrying weapons or supplies to Israel or the Saudi-led coalition. However, they have also attacked vessels that are flagged to other countries with no connection to Israel or the coalition, such as Singapore and Norway. They have also threatened to block the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, the narrow passage that connects the Red Sea of the Gulf of Aden and the Indian Ocean, which would effectively cut off the Suez Canal from the rest of the world. Now you have to understand that the Houthis are trying to achieve several objectives with these attacks. First, they want to pressure Israel to stop its attack on Gaza and to gain recognition and support from other Muslim countries and groups. And second, they want to hamper the Saudi-led coalition and force them to negotiate a political settlement that would grant them more control and influence in Yemen. And now, if you look at the shipping industry and the impact of the Red Sea crisis on global trade, the Red Sea is a key shipping route as it connects Europe, Asia, and Africa through the Suez Canal, which handles about 12% of global trade and 30% of global container traffic. Billions of dollars of traded goods and supplies pass through the Red Sea every year, meaning that delays there can affect petrol prices and the availability of essentials like food, clothing, and other. However, the attacks by the Houthis have caused severe disruption and uncertainties for the shipping industry. Some of the world's largest shipping companies such as Myers, MSC, and Hapag-Lloyd have halted and rerouted their traffic away from the Red Sea until further notice. This means that they are sending their ships via the Cape of Good Hope on the southern tip of Africa, which is much longer and costlier route. According to the Dutch bank ING, rerouting ships adds roughly 3,000 nautical miles and 10 days to trip between Europe and Asia. This also means that more ships and fuels are needed to maintain the same level of service and frequency, which increases the operational costs. Redirecting ships is expected to cost up to $1 million in extra fuel for every round trip between Asia and Europe, while insurance costs are also rising, adding to the overall cost of shipments. And the concerning point is that these costs are likely to be passed on to the consumers and businesses, leading to the higher prices and inflation. This could have a negative impact on the economy recovery and growth of many countries, especially those that depend heavily on trade. Even some shipping companies are trying to mitigate the risks and cost of the Red Sea crisis by relying on the protection of the US and UK naval forces, who have formed a maritime coalition to defend shipping against attack. However, these measures are not foolproof. As example, on 15th January, a Singapore-flagged tanker was hit by a drone launched by Houthis, despite being escorted by US warships. Well, the situation remains tense and volatile, as the Houthis have not shown any sign of stopping or reducing their attack. They have also rejected a ceasefire proposal from the UN and US, which would have required them to halt their offensive on the Yemeni city of Marib. They have also rejected a peace plan by Saudi Arabia, which would have involved a national-wide ceasefire. The US and the UK have also called for an international response to the Red Sea crisis and urged other countries to join the maritime coalition to ensure the safety and security of shipping in the region. Well, the Red Sea crisis is a complex and multifaceted problem that requires a comprehensive and coordinated solution. It is not only a matter of shipping and trade, but also of regional global security and stability. It is also linked to the border issue of Yemeni civil war, the Iranian-Saudi rivalry, and the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Therefore, any solution must address the root causes. Only then can the Red Sea crisis be resolved and the peace and prosperity of the region. Cheers for now. Don't forget to subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one.